Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
FBI continues to skirt court order to turn over McCabe communications. For more than 2 months, the FBI has failed to abide by a judge's order to turn over all of former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe's text messages, emails and SMS phone messages to a government watchdog group that has filed a lawsuit on behalf of a former senior FBI special agent. The communications in question are related to McCabe's wife's unsuccessful run for Virginia State Senate and might also contain invaluable information on McCabe's role in the Bureau's investigation into Hillary Clinton's private email server used to send classified information, several former FBI sources and a government official told this reporter. In January, Judicial Watch, a formidable conservative watchdog group based in Washington, D.C., filed a lawsuit against the FBI for the communications on behalf of retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent Jeff Danik. Danik spent more than 28 years with the Bureau as a supervisor in the Counter-Terrorism Division and Special Overseas Advisor. Danik filed his original Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, request in October 2016 for McCabe's communications. After Danik filed his original FOIA, the FBI responded on November 8 and 9, 2016, denying his request. Danik appealed to the Justice Department, and in June of 2017 the DOJ wrote that the FBI should search for and turn over any pertinent documents. The FBI still refused to turn over the documents, and in January he filed a joint lawsuit with Judicial Watch for the documents. "They have not produced not one text of McCabe, not one," said Danik, referencing the Bureau. "The government is out of control and it's astonishing. Do you know what would happen if the government subpoenaed you for information and you didn't produce records that you had in your possession? You'd go to jail for contempt." FBI officials could not be reached immediately for comment. "It's been months and the FBI continues to stonewall," said Danik. The DOJ's Inspector General Michael Horowitz is expected to produce a report before the end of the month on the Bureau's handling of the Clinton investigation, and according to IG's mandate, McCabe is a significant part of that probe. According to several government sources and a former senior law enforcement official, McCabe will not only be criticized by Horowitz for authorizing a leak to the Wall Street Journal on October 2016 but has also been under investigation for allegedly intervening to shut down part of the investigation into the Clinton server. McCabe had the authority to shut down investigations, but if it's discovered that he stopped an investigation for political reasons based on his own bias, that will be a significant problem for him, said a former senior government official, with knowledge of the investigation. Danik said McCabe's communications are essential to unraveling how the Bureau's leadership handled Clinton's investigation into the former presidential candidate, adding that it is more poignant after text messages between FBI Special Agent Peter Strzok and his former FBI lawyer Lisa Page revealed extreme bias against President Trump in the alleged Russia collusion investigation, as reported earlier. Strzok was removed from Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Trump after the text messages were discovered. Judicial Watch's President Tom Fitton expressed concern after his organization uncovered communications showing McCabe, despite massive contributions from Clinton ally Terrence McAuliffe to his wife Jill McCabe in the 2015 political campaign, did not recuse himself from the Russia investigation until a week before the November 2016 election. It was originally believed that McCabe had recused himself much earlier in the investigation. "The FBI has been playing games with text messages for some time," said Fitton. "The arrogance in refusing to provide any text messages of Mr. McCabe shows a contempt for transparency and the rule of law." Danik, who spent his career at the FBI building cases, said the failure of the Bureau to adequately investigate Clinton's use of a private server to conduct government business was an astonishing failure to the American people and was criticized by many former and current agents. "If I was allowed to conduct the investigation into who knew what, when regarding the Hillary Clinton email server, I could put that timeline together very quickly," said Danik, in an earlier interview. Watch, Comey, Clapper and Brennan are operatives of the deep state. JW Director of Investigations and Research Chris Farrell appeared on Lou Dobbs Tonight on the Fox Business Channel to discuss James Clapper leaking information to the media about the Trump dossier produced by Fusion GPS. Now the identity of leaker is about to be made public. And you won't believe who it is. Last January, CNN revealed the existence of the fake news Russia dossier. They didn't publish it, the publication was laundered through BuzzFeed, and once its existence became public, the rumor of collusion, despite no evidence, began to swirl. But who leaked it to CNN? Now there is an answer. Firstly, Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee are set to release a report with several key findings. Chief among them is that there is no evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. But sources familiar with the report and the investigation told investigative journalist Sarah Carter that James Clapper, Obama's former director of national intelligence, was the individual who leaked the dossier's existence to CNN. Carter writes, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper allegedly leaked information to CNN early last year regarding the classified briefings given to then-President-elect Donald Trump and President Barack Obama on the salacious dossier claiming the Russians had compromising information on the president-elect, according to government sources, who noted the evidence of the leak was collected during the House Intelligence Committee's Russia investigation. Clapper, who was one of 4 senior Obama administration officials to attend the briefing with the presidents, also stated his profound dismay at the leaks in an official statement issued in January 2017 and warned that the leaks were extremely corrosive and damaging to national security, according to his press release. But according to government sources, Clapper, who is not mentioned in the report released Monday, had spoken to CNN at roughly the same time Jake Tapper broke the first story regarding the briefings conducted by senior intelligence officials with Trump and Obama on the dossier. Tapper's story, which published in January 2017, created a snowball effect of allegations in the media that Trump's campaign had allegedly colluded with the Russians in the 2016 election and that Russia had compromising material on Trump, sources with knowledge of the investigation concluded. Clapper was one of 4 senior Obama administration officials to brief Obama and Trump on the dossier in December 2016. FBI Director James Comey, former CIA Director John Brennan and National Security Administration Director Mike Rogers were also present at the December briefings. But it was when CNN published the first report that Trump and Obama had been briefed the dossier's findings that other news agencies began to report on it. The committee found evidence that Clapper, who is now a contributor at CNN, contacted CNN shortly before the story was published by Tapper, Evan Perez, and Jumsey Utto. The story detailed the briefings given to Trump by the senior officials on the contents of the dossier and gave the dossier legs, and news agencies began to publish its contents because it had now become official news, one congressional source told this reporter. Shortly after CNN published the report, BuzzFeed made the decision to post the entire 35-page dossier and referenced the CNN report in its decision to publish it, according to the website. On January 11, Clapper issued a press release stating that the leaks in the media regarding the briefing on the dossier were extremely corrosive and damaging to national security. This is the second time Clapper was caught misleading the public. In 2013, he falsely testified before Congress that there was no domestic spying program. Edward Snowden's disclosures proved that was false. And now Americans will learn that Clapper was one of the deep state operatives working to sabotage the president too. It's official, court rules. Sanctuary cities ban is constitutional. In a major victory for President Trump and his quest to enforce the rule of law when it comes to illegal immigration, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that Texas's ban on sanctuary cities can proceed. The unanimous decision by the court's panel allows states to punish those jurisdictions that fail to cooperate in turning illegal immigrants over to the federal government for deportation. They ruled that the federal government's detainer requests were, in fact, legal, and the Texas law requires that local authorities comply with them or risk jail time or removal from their position. Judge Edith H. Jones concluded that opponents of the measure would not succeed on the merits of their case, adding none of the other challenged provisions of the law facially violate the Constitution. Texas Governor Greg Abbott celebrated the ruling on social media. Allegations of discrimination were rejected, he wrote. Law is in effect. The law that bans sanctuary cities was passed in May of 2017, with Abbott warning some sheriffs could wind up behind the very bars they are releasing these criminals from. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton praised the appeals court ruling, issuing a statement that reads in part, "Enforcing immigration law prevents the release of individuals from custody who have been charged with serious crimes." He reiterated that the law banning sanctuary cities in his state is lawful, constitutional and protects the safety of law enforcement officers and all Texans. The law has been fervently defended by Republicans, citing one public official in general, Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez. Hernandez vowed on the day President Trump was sworn in to limit cooperation with ICE. The public must be confident that local law enforcement is focused on local, public safety, not on federal immigration enforcement, she said, seemingly unaware that enforcing the law does affect public safety. Perhaps this is the first elected Democrat who should be removed from office or jailed for refusing to enforce the law. Are you happy to see the ban on sanctuary cities upheld in Texas? Share your thoughts below.